Hello, Blue Merinos. It's Keleas here. I hope you're having a fantastic Friday and you want to come hang out with me tonight. Oh my gosh, are you ready for the chunky goodness? Oh, the big chunky wreath base is going to be so much fun tonight. We're going to work with it in just a second. But wherever you're watching, hopefully you can see this on YouTube too tonight. We've been having some trouble with our stream over there. And, but if not, I can see you guys on Facebook. We'll say hello to you. And we are also streaming on TikTok, so wherever you want to watch is good. I do not want to add a credit card right now. Gosh. I just want to see my... Leave me! Good evening, everyone. Today, it's technology problems. Please ignore my body in the video. Hello, everyone. I hope you're coming in saying hi and you're ready to... Okay, my iPad's not set up. It's okay. Cancel. I'm not buying anything. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm gonna have to, I can't use my phone for, well, my iPad is just frozen up, guys. So I'm not gonna be able to see your comments. So I am gonna just be chatting with y'all and hoping you're here and you can see me. Anyway, I was just telling the TikTok viewers that we are going to send out a text in just a second for this live. So if you want to grab a spot on the text list, it's 832-734-5201. And you can text us. Nicole, if you need me, chat with me on TikTok, okay? Because I can't see anything on Facebook right now. But I can see your comments on TikTok. Y'all, it's Keleas on TikTok. It's actually Keleas.com on TikTok, everyone, okay? So if you want to meet, if you got a great question you want to ask it over there. I'm sorry I'm not able to see anyone's comments right this second. All right, so what we're going to use for this project today is we're going to work with the big dimensional wreath base. And I think sometimes people are intimidated by these, but basically they have a wire frame inside and they have all this great, this is called angel vine, and it's wrapped all around there. And it's really nice and chunky. And this is all brown. This is how it comes. This is natural. And we're going to use a couple of gorgeous supplies for this. Y'all know I have been on a total kick with the clematis. I'm like totally in love with it. And this is like a bright, beautiful white clematis. And I am live on YouTube. Good. Am I live on Facebook? Are we good on Facebook? I know you probably are letting me know on Facebook. Let me know, Nicole, if I'm good. Yay! So we're going to use this clematis. And when I saw it, it was such a pretty white. I thought, let's mix it with lemons. And this is a gorgeous lemon with a bloom. So we are going to mix the two together. And then you can't, I've been using this one in design school lately, this gorgeous ribbon that's double-sided with yellow and check. So we're going to use that for our bow. And what I'm going to show you is a super easy way to just make basically like a wreath attachment that you can attach to this frame. And you don't have to worry about really adding a whole bunch of other pieces to make a really pretty wreath, okay? So the first thing we need to do is tie up our bow and get it going. Okay, you can see me on Facebook too. Thanks, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all coming over here and telling me. I appreciate you so much. I usually like to talk with my audience if I'm live, so I apologize that I am. I can see you on TikTok if you want to chat. Come on over here. All right, let's tie our bow first. Okay, this is our Easy Bow Maker drill. And Nicole can probably be in the comments on Facebook. If anybody needs help, she can help you too, okay? Now, I am going to really celebrate this gorgeous ribbon. So I'm going to put in, I think, I'm going to go with about a 16-inch tail just for a nice amount of tail on there. Let's just fold over the edge. Well, no, this ribbon, we can dovetail it. Let's dovetail it. It looks pretty good. I don't think it's going to fray. So let's go ahead and get a nice dovetail in there at 16 inches, okay? And then bring that to the center and just pleat that right up. And we'll bring in, hello, Mary Jo! Did you just get this ribbon? Fantastic. It's luscious. It's luscious. Y'all, be warned, if you start playing with fancy ribbon, you are in trouble. You are so in trouble. It's kind of like when you start driving a nicer car, you get a nicer model of something. Oh, you're just in love with it. But I will say with the fancier, more expensive ribbon, you don't need to use as much. You can really just have a little. So I'm going to pleat that down. There's one loop, okay, and 2 tails at 16 here. All right, and then let's come in and do one more. And I think our next loop, we might just do a bow tie. Let's see if we like that. Okay, and pleat it and send it down here. I love that, and that's looking good. That looks really pretty. Oh, you know what? But I think I do want a separate layer of tails just layered on there. So we'll do another tail too. All right, let's come in here and cut it at an angle. Come right into the center and layer these up as short as you want. I'm going to go about 6 inches in between them. Okay, I'm going to take and scrunch it and twist it. Yeah, like that. So my first tails were at 16, then the next tail's around 10 or 12, okay? Now I'm going to make this loop at 5. The other loop was at 7. Okay, yeah, that looks nice. So we're just going to have 2 layers on this bow. You guys, we're usually making bows on Wednesday also, so if you are feeling like you need help with your bow making and you want to learn more skills, I'm here every Wednesday making bows with you. I do like to use the Easy Bow Maker. I think I've used it for like 20-something years, and it's a no-brainer to work with, okay? It just holds it for you. You can do all this by holding it in your hand, but it holds it in there so nicely. Okay, bring that down. And now I'm going to use 2 cable ties here. I need a short one and a long one. And we'll pull this off the bow maker. Get that nice and tight. All right, good to go. Okay, rotate that between your fingers and go ahead and fluff this up and really give it that, you know, that dimension we're always talking about. Totally, lots of dimension. See how pretty it is? And these are lined right up. I love that you can see that yellow popping out the sides. That's beautiful. Come back in with your longer cable tie and get that nice and tight. Yep, tie it right up. Oh, look how cute. Isn't that cute? Lots of movement in that. All right, now let's cut the cable tie off. You love the plaid? Thank you. Is it possible to do three bow ties? Oh, you could have. Mary Jo, what we call, you could put 3 layers in. When I call it a bow tie, it means it has no tail. So it looks like, you know, a bow tie on a shirt. But I went ahead and changed that. I went ahead and just put 2 layers, but you definitely could. When you're using this big fancy 4-inch ribbon, it's kind of less is more. You know what I mean? Okay, now, I'm going to go down the middle there with a piece of my check. I could reverse it to the yellow. I have a piece. Oh, I have a saved piece here. Y'all, I am working in the smallest little area. You'd think I wouldn't lose my 1 piece of ribbon. I had it cut and ready to go. Guys, Wolverinos, what am I going to do with myself? I'm in a small little area. Oh, it fell. No, that's my... I was like, there it is. No, that's my dovetail. All right. You know what that means. I'm going to have to cut my beautiful ribbon. I know. It's exciting. It's so jazzy. All right. Let me cut a little strip, even though I already have a strip, which I'm going to find right after I cut this. Who does that happen to all the time? Anyone else? Me, all the time. All right. We're going down the middle. You could keep a check. I think I'm going to run this little yellow stripe that's on the edge. I'm going to run that right down the center of a little check. So it's going to look like that going down the middle. Okay? Like this. I'm going to run that right down the center. And the reason I like to do that is it hides the mechanics, but then it gives you a really finished looking center and really classy. And you're not having to do anything. You can make 3 centers out of 1 little section of ribbon on there. Okay, cut these off. And let's get ready to make our cluster, okay? We're just going to set the bow to the side for a second. Move our bow maker. That ribbon's going to show up any second. Now, I showed you our clematis and our lemon, and we are going to be making a cluster out of this where we're going to add the bow. Okay, you do this too? I get it. I get it. You lose stuff. I'm sure you guys are saying on Facebook you do it all the time. I mean, I specifically put it aside no less than 30 minutes ago when I was setting up for this video. Okay, now, guys, I picked the clematis. I love the clematis, and this bright, beautiful white reminded me of the blooms on a lemon. So that inspired me to combine these. Now, they're on two different stems, but what we're going to actually do is kind of intertwine them. So they look like you have placed them there beautifully together. So I'm just going to slide these in next to each other, and you're going to kind of manipulate them where the blooms zigzag in and out, and it's just gorgeous. Now, let these have lots of movement. In design school, we call that shaking hands. I'm going to shake hands with each section. I like to take a little of these curls and curl up a few twigs. And make sure you're not covering up anything. Like, everybody needs its own little place here. And then I'm going to come in and I'm going to cable tie these together right here gently on the back. If you had some green cable ties, this would, you know what, I'm going to actually use wire. If you had some little bitty green cable ties, that would be perfect. Like ones you use for Christmas time. But this green wire is going to hide really easily in here. So I'm just going to just do a couple of pieces. I usually like cable ties because they're easier, but this will be so camouflaged you won't see it. There's one. Let's put one more down here. And then I'm just going to twist this to keep these pieces together. Now, we're still going to use cable ties when it comes to making the whole bush, but I want to keep these tight. You see, you can't get wire quite as tight as you can a cable tie, but that's a good start. Manipulate your greenery. So there's one cluster. We're like putting those two together. Don't cut off the stems yet. We'll decide that when we get towards the end. Why? It happens all the time. Is that what they're saying on Facebook? Oh, thanks, Mary Jo. Mary Jo is over here on TikTok saying she's always surprised, kind of, or amazed how all these elements go together. Oh, thank you. I like to consider myself kind of a professional. So I try. I really try. And when I see something that goes together so beautifully, I can't help but share it with you. And we're not even going to need any extra greenery. This clematis comes with gorgeous greenery, and so does the lemon. So when you mix two really beautiful pieces together, you're good to go. You know, you're good to go. So I'm using wires again to just cluster these together, just twisting them. And then I'm going to put one more at the top. And that's because I'm kind of creating my own spray here, you know. So you can always do this anytime that you see two pieces that you really just want them to mix. You can do this easily. Cut that off. All right. Isn't this beautiful? I love it. And we'll manipulate it more when we get our cluster going. So let's go ahead and let's bring our wreath frame back, so we can kind of get our spacing right. So when I'm talking about spacing, what I'm talking about is the distance between how far we want to make this cluster to fit our wreath base, okay? We're making this to fit this really chunky angel vine wreath base, but maybe you want to make something to fit another wreath that you already have. So let's not make any decisions till we kind of get our base back and take a look at it, okay? Here's our chunky wreath base. Good evening. Good to see you too. I'm glad you're here. I'm going to I want it to be off to the side, okay? Look how pretty this is already. We've literally done hardly anything, y'all. So if we just overlap these slightly, okay? I like that. It gives me a nice flow up here and down. I think that's beautiful. If we want to rotate that more to the bottom, we could. Let's say you're feeling more symmetrical. Look at this right here. No problem being symmetrical. Whatever you're feeling when you do a cluster design, you can make adjustments super easy. So let's just, I like this. Now let's check our bow size and see if this will work, okay? Because we're going to need to trim these down. We don't need a million stems sticking out. Oh my gosh, look how pretty this is going to be. Oh my Lord. I think that's enough space for the bow. I like that. So let's go ahead and get agree with this is a good size. I'm just going to hold this in one hand while I move my base out of the way for a second. And then we're going to finalize and secure this together so we're good to go with that size. You guys, we will have the supply list for this entire project, so you can grab any of these supplies on Keleas.com when we are all done, okay? Now, let's just start off by not losing our place and just getting a cable tie in right here. Let's get number 1 in. Okay, so now we don't have to worry about it moving on us. We've got one securing it. Now I'm going to flip that cluster over, and we can get rid of all this extra stems right here, okay? Not quite yet. We're going to do it in a second, but I'm going to use a couple more for stability, all right? Don't get too eager before we trim them, because you will thank me in the end, because this can all be just nice and neat and stable. Yeah. So let's say you do events and you want to be able to set some easy pieces up. Well, you make these clusters. You can use them for different events. They can attach to all kind of different pieces. And literally you're just taking one cable tie off, your attachment cable tie, and you can have these all over the place and pre-made and ready to go. And that's work you could do at home before you got to the venue. Look at that. Okay, isn't that great? Now, let's shape it out, because we just had it squished on its poor little tummy. Rotate the greenery. I love that greenery on the clematis. Let's get everybody shaped out how we want them. You do need to give them a little motion. Come on up. We want to see those lemons. I want them popping. This is so fresh and pretty. I love this combination. Now, I'm going to go to the back, and you see the longer stem shooting out. We're going to cut that, okay? Cut that one off. Same over here, cut this one off. Other than that, you're going to leave everybody else, because we use that to make this super stable. So y'all pop in the comments what else you think you could do if you made a cluster like this. How could you use it different ways in your home right now with your decor? This is so pretty. I love it. So pretty. Hello, good to see you. All right, now let's grab another cable tie, and this will be the cable tie we attach it all to the base with. So what I'm going to do is, depending how the wires go in the frame is depending how we're going to put this on. So let's go ahead and put the bow on first, and I'm just going to have this tucked under the bow, okay? So have it this way. All right, so you make sure it can close on the frame. All right, and if you want it removable, just use wire instead of a cable tie. Now I'm going to attach this bow over that cable tie to secure it, okay? And I'm going to do it a little bit catty corner, because that's the way I like to do these. Almost all my wreaths, I have the bows slightly twisted. Call it cattywampus, catty corner, whatever, at an angle. All right, perfect. Now, manipulate my tails a little bit. Maybe I want this to kind of come a little bit behind this piece and this down here. Once we get it on the base, we can play with that a little bit more. But there's our bow right in there with our lemons and our clematis, okay? Super simple recipe. And let's get the base back, okay? Isn't that ribbon amazing? It is gorgeous. It really is. Okay. Let's bring this one in. And there's our tail off the bow. I'm going to take that off. All right, and here's our attachment cable tie we put on. See it here? Okay. Now I've got to figure out my angle and where exactly I want it, but I'm feeling it like right around here off to the side, okay, on our big chunky base. That is just beautiful, no-brainer. So in order to get through here, what I'm going to need to do is just kind of either grab my awl, which I know is right here, and an awl is just like, it's kind of like an ice pick. It's got a pointy part, but it will let you get into the frame here, and you can find the wire. I don't want to just trust just the actual angel vine. I want to try to get under that wire if I can. And so when you put the cable tie in, you need a way to be able to kind of fish it back out. So you grab under the wire and then just kind of pull it back out. All right, so there, it went in nice and smooth under a support wire. And now, grab in here and let's get it all secured. Then we'll do a big fluffy wuffy. You gotta get a big fluff on this dude. So when you see a really chunky base like this, oh, my cable ties. If you don't hear it doing a little noise, you know it's not in there, right? There it goes. What is your problem? It should do the click, click, click. There it goes. Like it's making no noises. So keep pulling it tight so we get it tight into the base. Because we don't want it sagging. There we go. Yes, I feel it getting nice and tight. And that way, you don't have to worry about this coming off. Look how cute. Okay, so looks like a hot mess. Give me a second. I'm going to fluff it up into happiness. So if you are into mass production, you want to make a bunch of pieces to sell at a craft show, or maybe you want to just do a bunch to fill your shop booth if you rent a space at a shop, or maybe you're in an antique or vendor mall. These kind of pieces are easy to make quickly. And when you can make something quickly, you don't necessarily have to mark it up as much as a normal piece because you don't have all the labor involved. And I do encourage you to try some of the higher end ribbons because you see we didn't need a lot here to make this look fantastic. But this combination is so beautiful and yummy. It is just popping off the screen. And it's going to pop off your customer's door, your door if you want to make one for yourself, and all of the above. I know, isn't it cute? I love it. Tell me what you think in the comments. Can you do this cluster method? And I'm not even going to add a hanger to this, but in another video I'll teach you how to put a hanger on these type of wreaths. That's really beautiful and luscious. But today we're sticking with this. We're embracing the nice chunky base, and we're loving the new clematis and the lemon together. A beautiful, beautiful combo, perfect for summer. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this Blue Merinos. We'll see you next time we have a video. Make sure you pop on our text list at 832-734-5201 or go to textklee.com and we will text you out whenever we're live, whenever we have new supplies or supply lists. I'm so excited about flowers and I love to play with them. So every time I'm on here, I don't want you to miss it. I don't want you to miss all the fun. All right. You guys have a great night and I'll see you next time.